Hey, welcome to Physical Embodiment Studio. I'm Courtney Sproles, a certified personal trainer, and today I'm guiding you through some of my favorite priming exercises to do before any resistance training movement practice. We'll begin with our glutes and move all the way through different body parts until we get to our abs. And these are great exercises to get your mind and your body connected before you add any resistance to really ensure the proper muscles are firing and we don't have any overcompensation happening. So let's begin with a band. We'll start with body weight and do some exercises without the band, but eventually you'll need the band. So if you have one at home, you can use a long band, or even the smaller loop bands are fine as well. If you don't have a prop like a band, then you can just use the power of your mind and your body to connect to each muscle group. So we'll start in a bridge position on your back. So go ahead and take a seat on the floor, lay all the way down. Start with your feet about hip distance. And I want you to use this time to connect your mind to your glutes by pushing your heels into the floor. Before I even lift up my hips, I'm feeling my glutes and hamstrings activated, okay? So push your heels into the floor, start to lift your hips up, really engaging the back part of your leg. And then inhale, lower back down, feel the lengthening and relaxation of the back of your leg. So exhale, push the ground away, engage through the hamstrings and glutes, and then inhale, lower down, feeling that full release through the muscle. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Again, we're using this time to feel into your spine, to feel into the muscles around your hips. And you can use your breath to do that. So exhale big as you push your hips up and contract the glutes, and then inhale, lower down. Now, if you want to feel the lengthening of the hip flexors, you can inhale to lift your hips up, and then you can exhale to lower the hips down. So notice how that shifts in your body, feeling the lengthening of the front abs and hip flexors as you inhale, and then exhale to relax. Okay, so either way of breathing is great. Let's do two more. Final one, really focusing on the glute engagement. Okay, this is an important exercise to add in before you do a squat, so we can really get the hips and the muscles around the hips firing to be your power source. Now we're going into good mornings. I like to use a PVC pipe, but since I don't have that here with me right now, we'll use a band, bringing it behind your back as if it's a barbell. Take a seat on a chair or a bench, and bring your feet wider than your hips, heels in, toes out. Find length in your spine. From here, I want you to hinge from your hips, keeping your spine really long. Activate your glutes, which you just primed, so now you're connected, and then lift all the way back up. All right, inhale, lower down. Feel the length of the back, growing tall through the crown of your head. Squeeze your glutes, pull yourself back up. All right, so you're hinging from your hips, feeling your hips mobilize here. Activating through your butt, lift yourself up. I like to work with my breath here, inhaling to lower down. Exhale, engage the glutes, push yourself up. Do whatever rhythm of breath feels good for you. We're keeping a nice open chest, really lengthening through the collarbones, engaging through the mid-back. I'm going based off feel, less about reps and more about sensation in the body. And right now, this is feeling pretty good. So I'm gonna do two more. Hinging, engaging through the glutes, lifting up. And I'll tell you what, I'm feeling this nice heat building through the outer thighs and through my bum. And I'm feeling really safe and protected in my spine by engaging my abs. Once you're done with those good mornings, we're now going to use the band for band pull-aparts. I really like this exercise to get the shoulder blades mobile. Well, the muscles around the shoulder blades engaged and contracting and extending so that you can really prime before going into lat pull downs or low rows or anything where you're engaging your mid-back as the intention of the movement. So let's start with your arms straight, just shoulder width. Palms are down. Now from the side, I want you to pull your navel in so your hips are underneath your rib cage. And then we're going to squeeze in between the shoulder blades, just pulling the band apart a little bit to really feel the engagement through the mid-back. If I pull too much into the band, it gets into my neck quite a bit, and that's not the purpose here. We're just priming the muscles that we're about to work even harder into once we move into that part of the practice. Okay, so we're squeezing in between the shoulder blades and relaxing. Squeezing in the shoulder blades and relaxing. If you feel this in your traps at all, I want you to shift your shoulder blades down away from your ears even more. And if you're a lady, imagine where your bra line would be. That's where you're focusing on squeezing. For my gentlemen, you're going to focus on just focusing on the shoulder blade squeeze at the tip of your shoulder blades. 2 more. And rest. All right, so you might have felt your triceps heat up, a little bit of rear delt, and then rhomboids. That's awesome. Now we're going to really focus in on the lats. So extend the band over your collarbones, elbows slightly tuck under. A little bit of a pull right away. Your hands are going in opposite directions to engage the lats and triceps, as well as the biceps a little bit. From here, lift the band up overhead, and then pull your elbows directly down as you keep some of the resistance by pulling the hands away. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Really focus on breaking the bar. If you use barbells, you might know what that sensation feels like, where you're externally rotating the shoulder, pulling up, and then pulling down. So if you've used a cable machine for a lat pull down, you're envisioning what that would feel like, mimicking the movement to engage the lats. There's a tendency to bring the elbows back. This is where I want you to really focusing on tucking the elbows under to engage the lats, okay? Once we're done there, let's get into the chest. So we're going onto the floor for push-ups. Lay down fully on the floor. Bring your thumbs at your nipple line. So touch the nipple with the thumbs, spread your fingers wide, and then walk your thumb to where your pinky is. Pull your shoulder blades down your back, engage through your mid-back, which you just engaged already, so it's primed. And I'm gonna do this on my knees. I'm pushing the floor away, activating through the pecs, inhale to lower down, activating in your mid-back. Exhale, push away, inhale, lower down. Again, the whole purpose of this push-up is to focus your mind into your chest. We're also getting your back at the same time. So it's a double whammy here, getting your mind and body connected before you do, say, a bench press or a chest fly. 2 more. Last one. All right. Now, let's talk about a chest fly for a moment. I like to mimic the exercises without weight to make sure the mind's connected to the body and get that imaginary resistance going. So reach your arms out into a T, tuck the elbows slightly under. So you're expanding through the heart, and then pull your hands together, engaging through the chest. Inhale, reach your arms wide like you're going in for a hug. Exhale, contract the pecs. Okay, you're technically squeezing your chest together, but I want you to focus on the muscles engaging as you bring your hands together. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. Okay, so hopefully that helped you get your mind connected to your chest. We'll move into your abs next. Your abs are going to help you in everything you do, specifically a chest press, a low row, a squat, a deadlift. These are the big lifts that you're really going to want your core firing in the right ways so you can prevent injury. So let's lay on your back. We're going to talk about the rectus abdominis first. So I want you to puff your abs. This is your rectus abdominis firing. Now we'll do the opposite. Cinch your abs in by focusing on the region below your belly button, core sitting around your spine. Okay, so if you're puffing your abs, you're working rectus. If you're pulling your navel down and in, flattening your abs, this is working your transverse, okay? So we're focusing on engaging the transverse as much as possible to protect your lower back in your lifts. So I want you to know what that feels like in your body. So puff the abs and then pull the navel in, okay? We're using this contrast for you to understand the difference so that when you are in your big lifts, you know what the sensation is of engaging the deep abs or transverse abdominis to protect your lower back. Now, all of these movements are my favorite. There are plenty more of priming exercises you can add into your routine. Again, these are just my top faves before you get into a full body strength training routine. If you haven't followed along on our channel, we have tons of full body routines for you to focus on and practice these exercises and engagement of the mind-body connection. So hopefully that helps. Enjoy your practice. Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.